We're going to build another MB18 today. Not just any MB18 though. This is the new all aluminum Pro version that we got. And we also got some extra goodies for it too. We got the new independent front suspension setup from Meus Racing going to go on this. We're going to make this into a true pre-runner style build. We got lots of stuff to look at, so let's take a look at the Pro kit first. So here it is. Comes in this very nice sharp looking box. It's got the magnets on the flap here. You can open and close it. The Pro kit is pre-built, so it does not come in pieces like the previous MB18. You've got your aluminum body here already mounted up to your cage, which is also aluminum. Check that out. Super rigid, very nice looking feel here. Got my old motocross number on there, 330. Very nice of them to do that. So this is going to make installation super simple because this thing is all solid aluminum, one piece, ready to go. This comes in a few different colors here. We got the bright silver. We get the graphics kits that we usually get. We've got blue. I think we've got a red in here too. Yes, we've got the red also, so we can sticker this up how we see fit. We get a silver spare wheel here, light bar. We get the rear links, and this uses the High Trail, the TRX4M High Trail wheelbase, so we get the rear links here. Steering linkage, lay down servo mount, but all this stuff is going to be kind of irrelevant because we also got their new suspension setup. Now, this is a super cool kit, and it's going to really cap off this build. You know, one of the things with the MB18 and the MB24, it's got this kind of pre-runner style, this Ultra 4 style look and construction to it. But having that with solid axles doesn't really fit the character of the truck. So now we've got an independent front suspension setup that Meus has released here. Now this is a pretty comprehensive kit. It's up first. Let's take a look at the front. I love that they make this pretty much all built. Look at that. Man, this thing is a very cool piece of engineering and hardware here. Metal axle shafts going out to the wheels. All metal hardware here and components. It feels very solid. Very cool. What a nice looking kit here. Very impressed with that. We've also got a trailing arm set up in the rear. So this includes your lower trailing arms here and your upper links, all the hardware to do that. There is also a special skid plate and battery relocation set up here. Extension leads for the battery. We get a carbon fiber tray, and we get a new skid plate here because of how this all mounts up. This is going to be, there we go. It goes like that. So you got a new skid plate we got to use here. Your battery tray is going to go in the front, I believe. But it's nice they give you all of the hardware here. Lots of stuff. So we got some building to do. They've made it pretty easy on us, but we do have to source some additional components. I'm going to dig around in my parts and see what I got, and then we'll kick this build off. Alright guys, before I start buttoning this thing up, I want to show you where I'm at from the build, because it's not super intuitive when you're putting this together. So let's start from the front, work our way back here. So for the front, you've got a bunch of rod ends here that you're going to put together. You're basically going to squeeze them, butt them right up against each other. And you've got 3 sets of these. So one pair is going to do each knuckle, basically. And then you've got one on the top here that's going to attach to your servo horn. So that's going to be your steering mechanism. You're going to want a pretty powerful servo here. It already feels like it's going to take some effort to steer this. So you're going to want something with some juice. I'm going to try the old 7 kilogram Endura. I use these on pretty much all of my TRX4M builds lately, except for my ultra high performance ones. These work pretty good and they're super cost effective. We'll see if it's got the juice to handle it. But it looks like, I think your servo is going to go in backwards, really like that right there. We've also got this skid plate that's going to go on the front as well. So now you've got these big heavy brackets are going to go into your skid plate here. It's going to fit. These are your lower links here. It's going to slot in just like that. And you can see your motor is now rotated backwards. So we're going to have a rear facing motor. This is going to allow us to put the battery up front. So we get this carbon fiber tray. Battery's going to sit like that. It's going to lead us to the back here where we've got our stainless upper links and our trailing arm setups for our lower links. You are going to want an extended axle for the rear as well, because this front setup is significantly wider than the stock. So what I've got is the Endura plus 4mm axles. That seems to match up pretty much perfect, but you are going to want some sort of extended axle setup here. For suspension, I'm going to be running the Meus emulsion shocks here. I've had these for a long time, just been waiting for the right build to put them on. I think this is going to be the one. The red anodizing is going to look really good on this truck. I put some stickers on here, opted for the red graphics, so you can see I'm going to have kind of this red and raw aluminum theme going. I think it's going to look really good. So that's where we're at. I'm going to put all this together, and next time you see it, it should be fully functional. All right, guys, we are done. This thing turned out to be a little bit more of a project than I was expecting. I'll tell you all the complications that I ran into, but overall this thing looks super rad. Love how the front end looks on this thing. Very, very cool. It's got a very rugged and solid feel to it. You can see how everything came together there. The shocks go in the front. Skid plate goes on the front there to protect the center diff. Servo fits super snug up in there. They did a good job with this kit making it fit the way it does. I'm pretty impressed. So you can see for shocks what I ended up doing, I had to use the Endura 53mm. The emulsion shocks were just, the collapsed length was too long. So when you pick your shocks here, you need something with a body short enough so that you can take advantage of the travel here. What I was finding that I tried a 59mm, that seemed too long. The collapsed length has to be pretty short on these. So these 53mm seem to work pretty well. Trailing arms in the rear, those were no problem to set up. Just make sure you put the trailing arms go on the outside of your shock mounting positions, your linkage mounting positions. Got good movement there, no problem. One thing I ran into, I could not use the supplied upper links because they were too long. My axle was jacked to the back, so I had to use some stock TRX4M upper links. So something to keep in mind. It looks like if you use the Meus axles, you may be able to use the kit as is, but with these Endura axles, I could not get it straight without having to use the stock length upper links on it. For the battery tray, I did Velcro on my battery tray. It does come with a strap, but the battery is very hard to get in and out of there. So I got the Velcro on there for now. It's pretty solid. It would be really tough to utilize a strap because you got to kind of contort it in the front here, and it's really a pain, but we got it working. The extension cables are nice. I got my plug-in right there. All my electronics are going in the back. So for power plant on this thing, I'm running the Endura MBL32 brushless ESC with the purple Viper motor. I've got stock gear ratio in this with the purple Viper. This thing's going to be a rocket ship. I built it to be fast. I wanted it to be kind of a pre-runner style, so that's what we're going for here. With the body on, it looks pretty rad. The body, I like how they did the body mounting on this with this kind of latch here. It goes through here, this little notch, and then you twist it to lock it. It sounds good in concept, but it's really finicky to do in practice here. So let's see. You got to kind of finagle it. And then, there we go. So it's all nice and latched now, and then it's solid. This thing feels really heavy. Tires and wheels, did the Little Guy Racing Parts gloss black wheels. I wrapped them in the Little Guy Racing Parts gripper tires. I like the grippers on this. Gives it a nice size, nice look to it. Very cool. And then I got something special for the back. Could put a spare tire there, but I got a new Rockin' RC's stereo system that we're going to put in here. Now this little box fits perfect in this chassis kit. Let me show you. Makes it even harder to close the body, unfortunately. There you go, look at that. It's got a stereo system in the back. Now these things sound pretty awesome too, so we'll be able to have some tunes while we're ripping through the trails. So overall, this thing looks super cool. The aluminum body on it, the all aluminum chassis, very solid kit here. The front suspension, very impressive engineering here, the way they made this work. So let's fire it up and give it a first run. I'm kind of nervous to see how fast this thing's going to be. See the purple Viper in there spinning, that outrunner motor. Nice and smooth and quiet. Oh yeah, we got... This thing's going to be a riot. Alright, this is super cool. I'm gonna button it up, and then we go hit the rocks, hit the trails with it, see how this thing does. Out here with the MB18 Pro, trying it out with the independent front suspension. New setup's pretty cool. Wish I had some Coors Light decals. It'd be cool on this thing, the old silver bullet. Looks amazing out here. I love the Pro body with all aluminum. That independent front suspension, super cool. Do some light crawling here, see how it does, and then we'll hit some speed. That Endura motor, not as ferocious as I was expecting with the stock gearing. Still manageable for sure. Got nice slow crawl here. Look at the suspension action working. That skid plate in the front helping me glide over rocks. Let's give it throttle here. This is super cool. Look at that. This is what you want in a pre-runner kit like this. Now it feels like a true Ultra 4. Super cool. Not getting the suspension action up front that I was really expecting. Is not a whole lot of drop there. You can see it is articulating quite a bit, but there's just not a whole lot of range, which is fine. It helps keep it controlled. That speaker system in the back looking super cool. Come through here and do some higher speed runs, a little washout we can go through. I just love how this thing looks from the front. So cool. Body's rattling around quite a bit, sound like a tin can because I haven't latched it because I can't reach the latch with my stereo in there. Here's a cool washout we can try to pound through here. Oh, get hung up on that rock. That's pretty good at speed. Bouncing around a lot. It's difficult to see if that independent front suspension is really working its magic, but it feels pretty composed going through here. Bouncy, yes, but still pretty cool. Steering does surprisingly well, a lot better than I thought. It felt like there was going to be a lot of drag there, but it does a good job. Wishing I had more angle, not super sharp steering. Come up through the washout, try some slow speed stuff here. Definitely sacrifice ground clearance in the front. That skid plate does an okay job helping us glide over obstacles. Some bigger tires would help too. I didn't check the weight distribution, I should have. It feels pretty heavy in the front. Get that trailing arm setup in the back's working really good too. It's still able to crawl pretty decent. I'm getting hung up quite a bit though. Not a hardcore rock crawler, I would say. You know, it's getting a lot of hang-ups here. But it does do pretty good. Better than I expected at slow speed stuff. Still running 2S. I don't dare run 3S with this motor. This thing has got so much power. Although it's surprisingly manageable, like I said. Been navigating through here pretty well, actually. That's where I wish, again, I wish I had more steering. Maybe a stronger servo might help that out. I can't tell if I'm running out of angle or if I just don't have the juice. Nice. If you can see it on camera, I'm getting a little bit of hesitation from this motor. Like the taller gears at low speed, stressing it out a little bit. Look at this stuff. Nice. Does good throttling through stuff. You keep your momentum up. You can use that skid in the front to glide over obstacles and really just kind of pound through Ultra 4 style. Like, that was pretty cool right there. Alright, I'm gonna wrap it up soon. It is freezing cold up here in Massachusetts. Feeling every bit of it. But what a cool project. This was a lot of fun. Really neat to do something totally different rather than just the standard type of build. You know, independent front suspension, trailing arm, all this cool stuff. Really fun to really mix it up. And the kit is so premium. So a great job by Meus Racing here. Power through, nice. Looking good. I love it out here. It's so much fun. Wish we had warmer weather. My hands are starting to freeze up. I can't squeeze the trigger as adequately as I'd want. So I think the weather is going to force me to stop, but super cool, really fun project. I'm going to wrap it up. I'll catch you guys back at the bench. I do have to demonstrate the speaker setup for you guys, so let's see. It's hooked up to, there we go. I don't know if I'll get a copyright strike here, but we'll see. It sounds so good. Alright guys, I'm going to wrap it up. I'll catch you guys later. Super cool kit here, the MB18 Pro with the IFS. Meus Racing's doing great things with this platform. The independent front suspension on this chassis makes this look like a legit mini pre-runner, little Ultra 4 truck running around out there on the rocks, which is just what this kit needed. Like I said during the run footage, this was a super fun project. Really neat to do something totally different. And I think Meus Racing did a great job with this kit. I ran it pretty hard through the rocks at speed. Granted, I didn't spend a ton of time on it, but I am pretty confident in this kit. It's got really solid components, great construction throughout. I wish I had a little bit more suspension travel in the front. You know, it's awesome to see those wheels move independently, especially as it's going at speed. It would be really cool if you had a little more suspension travel to see it kind of really float across the terrain like those pre-runners do. Maybe in future iterations we'll get a little more drop there, but as far as functionality goes, the setup works really well. Price on this kit, the independent front suspension kit's around 120 bucks. For that price, you get the entire front end setup. You get all of the independent front suspension setup in the front. You get the skid, which is going to allow you to flip your motor. You get the battery tray. You get the trailing arms. You get the whole thing to do this conversion. Now, I'm not sure if this will fit any other TRX4M models. You're certainly going to need an aftermarket chassis layout to get this in, just because of how you flip the motor around and everything. So it is possible you could do this on a TRX4M outside of the MB18, but I'm not sure. The MB18 Pro kit, this all aluminum kit that we have here, this is a gorgeous upgrade to the MB18. It is pricey though. At $350 for this kit, combine that with the independent front suspension, the whole setup as you see it here, you're going to be north of $500. Now the Pro upgrade certainly isn't necessary for the independent front suspension, so you don't have to spend the money on the premium kit unless you want to. But guys, I will put the links in the description down below on where you can grab all of the products in this build, and let me know your thoughts down below. What do you think of the independent front suspension setup? And as always, I appreciate you guys. Thanks so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you haven't done so, and I'll see you in the next video.